Aaron Judge's girlfriend name drops him during a DUI arrest. Why is this news? Stay tuned to find out.
Luis, dime a ver.
Manny, hey,
Long time no see, man.
long time. You're a Yankee fan?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Are you serious?
For reals, man.
I would have
And
never. I would have never re-signed that contract for 10 more years of this show had I known that you wear that on your
hold
head.
on a second.
Put
Is
that
that a
filth.
buffalo on your hat? As in
A
the
blue,
Buffalo Bills?
a blue buffalo. Yes.
Wow. Interesting. It's a guy from the tri-state area doesn't root for a single tri-state area team. That's besides the fact. Not gonna let you respond. Let's just get right into the headlines today, man, because we
Yeah, I
have a
was gonna
busy.
say we don't have all the time for the back and forth.
We
Aaron
have a.
Judge's girlfriend arrested, DUI. Only the second person we know, celebrity-wise, to get arrested for a DUI in the last couple of weeks.
Who's the first?
Ed Oliver from the Bills.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah. So her name is, if you haven't heard yet, Samantha Braxic. That's an interesting name.
Cute chick, cute chick.
He's cute. Very short.
Cute. Well, Aaron
Kind
Judge
of
is a giant, so let's
just let your
she
mind do
she
what it
can be
does.
normal. She can be a normal sized human being and still look short compared to Aaron Judge. So
Yes.
yes.
So the story is that she was pulled over, I guess in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you watch the video, we were going to play the video and then I decided, forget it. What's the point? It's too long. There's no point, blah, blah, blah. And she kept saying, like, oh, my boyfriend, he's famous. This is going to look so bad. It's going to be all over the New York media, blah, blah, blah. She's in the cop car. This is like, half hour later, maybe 45 minutes later. She's crying. Oh my God, this is going to look so bad, blah, 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 whatever. And then the cops start asking her, well, who's your boyfriend? And she's like, oh, he's in New York. And they're like, is he a businessman? No, he's a baseball player. Well, who's your boyfriend? It's Aaron Judge. And, so I kind of felt like she was coaxed to say it, and then that the video got out. And throughout the video, by the way, the cops kept saying, like, this won't never become public unless you make it public. But now it's public. But it's like, did
So
she
she
make it public? How could she make a video? Because it was a cop. It was one of those cop cams that they wear on their shirts.
yeah.
How can you just go to the police department and say, hey, can I have that video of my DUI arrest?
Maybe they have a say whether or not they want their face and name released in the video if it's like not that serious of a crime. It sounds like an honest mistake, but yeah, you're right. Like,
It's kind of weird.
how did this get released? It sounds more like she was embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed too if I got a DUI, honestly, with Uber these days. Like, it's
Yeah.
just don't risk it, guys.
So yeah, to me, this isn't so much of a big. It's a big deal because it's Aaron Judge, and so I have these two questions, and I'm gonna try to do this quick because we got a fan or fraud today, San Antonio Spurs edition. But just quick
Ooh.
question: we just found out that Aaron Judge is still recovering from that rib injury. It sounds like maybe he's not going to be ready if the season starts in July, early July. Do you think that this is the New York media? Because what you can do is, if this is public record, a media personality can go and get it. Like when I was following the IGF1 story, I was able to just go online and look at dockets. The problem is that people aren't going to go through all that effort to do it. But I could see lawsuits between this certain person and Major League Baseball, and read all the private stuff in there. It's all public record. I wonder if the New York media is starting to turn on Aaron Judge. Maybe they're seeing that he's not maybe the savior that we thought he was. I still think he is, personally, but that's just me. And they're turning against him. What do you think? Is this a conspiracy theory from me? Is that possible?
I don't know, but I'd be upset to see that they would turn against a guy like Aaron Judge. I mean, the guy has done nothing but when he's healthy, put up numbers for the Yankees. Hasn't had any off the field issues. Uh, I feel like sports needs guys like that, so I'd be real upset if the media is turning against him. But I also feel like in 2020, nothing's off limits with the media. They're gonna go as far. They're gonna push buttons. So it's a
Yeah.
I think it's a conspiracy theory, but a valid one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging my conspiracies. Next story. Carlos Correa, who I've learned to hate over the last year, is a UFC superfan to the point that him and what is that pitcher that threw all the curveballs and dominated the Yankees in 2017?
Literally.
Lance McCullers Jr.
Oh,
He and Lance McCullers Jr. hold they have a UFC podcast. I forget what it's called, but anyway, he was on MMA Junkie, and he said, "I would love to cross over into the UFC. I grew up boxing and I loved it, but I realized that in baseball you don't get hit as much, so I decided to stick with baseball, and it worked out." Um, I don't know why this is a story, but I felt like I needed to mention it so that I could say right here live on the Welcome to the Show podcast / live stream. It's not streaming right now, but not stream, YouTube channel, whatever you want to call it, at 6:58 on May 22nd, that I challenge you, Carlos Correa, to a match in the octagon, and I'll fuck you
whoa,
up.
whoa! First F-bomb of the show there. Goodbye, YouTube. Ads. Goodbye, ads.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know if that's how it works. We don't get ads on this thing, man. You guys don't subscribe. You guys don't like and subscribe. But I gotta say this, man. Carlos Correa, you could barely stay on the field. How about staying healthy for a game that doesn't require you to take pain first and foremost before you get into the octagon where someone can literally snap your fragile bones? You proposed to your wife after the 2017 rigged World Series, and I haven't liked you since.
Yeah, man. I'm just kidding. I don't want to fight you, Carlos Correa.
And I'm just kidding too, Carlos Correa. If you want to come on the show and talk your shit, come on the show, man. We'll have you.
All right. So that was that story. The next one is that Chipper Jones. I don't have a picture of Chipper Jones. Sorry, guys. But Chipper Jones, another ex-MLB player, chimes in. Feels less optimistic than he did 10 days ago that there's going to be a season. And that's because he feels like the squabble, quote unquote, over dollars and cents between millionaires and billionaires just doesn't look good. And I guess he feels like the fans are gonna turn against the players, which and the owners, and they're not. Maybe they'll protest games. I don't know. I still believe there's gonna be baseball. I think it's a matter of time at this point.
Yeah,
that's just it. That's all I gotta say. The next thing is. An NBA legendary coach, Jerry Sloan, passed away today at the age of 78. He had complications from Parkinson's disease and Lewy body dementia. He revealed the diagnosis for that in 2016. So R.I.P. Jerry Sloan, one of the greats. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I wanted to mention one quick thing about the NBA, and I know we're running out of time because we want to get into fan or fraud. But Channing Frye had made some comments we touched on earlier this week about Michael Jordan's not being able to translate into today's game. I forget the reason he said. I thought it was bullshit. He tweeted out, people kept calling for Channing Frye because they felt like he was trolling. He tweets, and I quote, "I'm not a Jordan guy. I feel like shooting post-up mods range twos." Don't even understand this tweet. I'm gonna reread that. I feel like shooting post-up range twos. I skipped the word there that he had because it doesn't make sense. Wouldn't translate in today's game. People got hot. Luckily, I have time to give attention to triggered fans. First of all, you're fucking wrong. 2-pointers still count as 2 points. Michael Jordan was a beast at draining those. Kawhi Leonard is only successful, one, because he's an amazing defender, but two, because he has a mid-range shot, and Jordan's way more efficient and accurate than Kawhi Leonard. Don't quote me on that. I don't know about way more. He's more efficient.
Well, let's see what Kawhi does for the rest of his career. Maybe at the end, maybe when it's all said and done, maybe he'll be the greatest of all time. But it's still,
But you know what? Kawhi Leonard, though, like, he literally developed that mid-range shot in a time where everybody's shooting three-pointers. Like, LeBron James got better at shooting threes. Kawhi Leonard has honed in on the mid-range shot. You can watch as many videos as you want on YouTube. It's deadly. Jordan would definitely translate in today's game, but I also want to point out something Kendrick Perkins said. He's backing up Channing Frye. He also said that Jordan broke every player code on that documentary during his time with the Bulls, throwing people under the bus, calling them out in practice, saying that there was cocaine in a locker room or something, or a hotel room that he was in, even though he didn't drop a name. So I don't really know how that's breaking any code. Fuck Kendrick Perkins too, man. Fuck him.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things that Jordan said in that doc that maybe you don't typically hear elite athletes say, but it's been 20 plus years after the fact. Like at this point, you can get over it. I think get over it.
You know what? And
If anybody should be pissed, it's Scottie Pippen, I think. But
yeah,
even he kind of brought it upon himself.
and yeah, exactly. Scottie Pippen brought that upon himself. The fact that a teammate of him admitted to breaking down and crying after Scottie Pippen didn't want to check into a game because he wasn't the go-to guy for a final shot. That's on Scottie Pippen. Jordan didn't have to say anything to make that worse. But I also want to say that it's more refreshing to hear a true side of a story than to hear this BS that we're fed every day of our lives, that athletes are best friends and they don't do anything wrong. And I hate that fairy tale shit. So I just want to say it was refreshing to see Michael Jordan shit on some people.
Preach. All right. So today's edition of Fan or Fraud is in the NBA. It's the San Antonio Spurs. We have a super San Antonio Spurs fan, Sid Supermanium, is gonna join us right after this Wire-inspired video, which I don't know why I made it Wire-inspired. It just kind of worked out, and I don't want to do it all over again. So stick around, guys.
Few who enter the diamond come out in one piece. Fan or fraud? Are you sure you really want to test your fandom?
All right. Okay. So today, as I said, on the other side of this break, we have Sid Supermanium. I hope I'm saying your last name correctly. Usually I make fun of you and use your wife's last name, but I'm trying to win you over here, so I'm not going to do that right now.
That's a great last name. I thought you were giving him like a super fan nickname there.
Yeah, Supermanium is actually a pretty common last name in India.
Oh,
but
wow.
People freak out when they see the number of letters, but it's actually pretty easy to pronounce.
I have a lot of
he is Indian, CT. He may look Dominican, but he's actually Indian.
I look Indian too, actually, but I have a lot of Indian friends. I've never seen that last name, so that's pretty interesting.
All right. Enough with the small talk, guys. So we have 10 questions. Some are multiple choice, some are not multiple choice. The way you're going to know that they're not multiple choice is because I'm not going to give you multiple choice options. All right. I try to rank them, try to make them from easy to hardest, but there are some easy ones sprinkled in between. So it's not going to be, that simple. So are you ready?
I am. Can I add color commentary like they do on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You know how they never answer the question. They always.
Yeah, sure. Why not? All right. All right. Question number 1, Sid. Let's see if you're a fan or fraud. Between 1998 and 1999, between the 1998 and 99 and 2013, 2014 seasons, the Spurs won 5 titles. Which team prevented them from a 6th title during the 2012-2013 season?
It's the Miami Heat. It was the Ray Allen shot. Why would you start with that question? I cried after the game.
I'm sorry, man. Hopefully it gets better. At least you're 1 for 1 so far. This might be the best start we've had on this show so far.
Here we go. So question number 2. Who did the Spurs defeat in the finals during the 98-99 shortened season? Was it?
Oh, sorry. It's multiple choice. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, if you want to go out and answer it.
Shortened season, they destroyed the Knicks. And
man,
pretty well in all of them.
That is correct.
I gave him 1 to, try to win him over a little bit. But he's 2 for 2.
Butter him up a little bit. Okay.
And I also wanted to sprinkle that in there because I feel like the Knicks don't get mentioned enough on this podcast. So we're going to just throw that right in there. See, Sid, here's an easy one, hopefully for you. Which legendary Spur is nicknamed the Admiral?
David Robinson, of course.
Holy shit, he's 3 for 3.
Do we have a perfect game in our hands? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Don't jinx it.
I got to be honest with you. This is kind of hard. Question number 4. How long has Greg Popovich coached the team for? Is it A, 24 years, B, 23 years, C, 22 years, or D, 21 years?
Okay, so it's definitely more than 21. Can I phone a friend?
Sure,
No.
why not? Put him on
No,
speakerphone.
just kidding. I'm gonna
Or
have
her.
to go with 22 years.
Ah, man.
Ooh, perfect
23.
game
Close but no
over.
cigar. 23 years is the
Oh,
answer we were looking
dude.
for.
23 years. It was actually 23 plus years. He coached half the season. I think it was 97, 98, and then he's still coaching to this day.
Ah,
So he's not perfect, guys. Sorry, Sid.
What if I knew the coach before Greg Popovich? Do I get points? No, guess not.
Who was the coach before Pop?
I thought it was Bob Hill, but it could
I
be
think
wrong.
you're correct. I don't know. I'm going to
gonna
be
say
honest with
you're
you. I have
correct,
no
'cause
idea.
I don't really know. Yeah. 23 years ago was a long time.
Yeah, it was. All right. Number 5. How many seasons did Tim Duncan play alongside David Robinson? Was it A, 4, B, 5, C, 6, or D, 7?
So Duncan joined in 97, and Robinson was part of the 2005 championship, so it must have been 7.
That is incorrect, Sid. The
What?
answer is C, 6. And I actually wrote this down here. So they played between the 97 and 98 season through the 02-03 season. So 97, 98, 98, 99, 99, 2000, 2000, 2001, 01, 02, 02, 03. 6.
Oh, cool. 3. I'm sorry. He wasn't part of the 5. He was part of the 3. Whoops. Shoot.
You know, basketball questions with the years are not
They're
Yeah.
tough, man.
It's like a half a year every time. But
But like I say, CT, no excuses. Play like a champion, all right?
all right, I'm gonna have a little trouble doing this one. But all right, which Spurs legend holds the nickname the Fury Francophile? The Fiery Francophile?
That's it. It's one of his nicknames, at least.
Oh, man. The fiery Francophile?
Is it the Fiery? Is that what it is? The Fiery
Yes.
Francophile? All right,
Yes.
the Fiery Francophile.
He sounds like a serial child molester, that nickname, but I kind of like it.
Is this a Spurs legend? Or just a Spurs?
I would consider him to be a Spurs legend.
All right,
Basketball
I'll answer
Basketball
that for you.
Reference has him in the top 5 in Spurs history.
He is a Spurs legend in the sense of if you're a Spurs fan, but in the sense, and this is a hint, in the span of like all NBA history, I wouldn't say he's a legend.
The Spurs legends, there's the Admiral, there's the Iceman. I don't know, Duncan's nickname was probably big fundamental, but maybe Manu Ginobili.
Oh man,
Correct,
wow.
man. Tony Parker is
Was
the
it
fire.
So
Fiery
far,
Francophile.
Sid is what's the count here? 3 for 6. He had the first 3 right consecutively. He's missed the last 3.
Blame the
Not looking good here. You're headed toward fraud territory.
Finish strong. I know you're gonna get at least 2 of the next 4.
What do I need to get a fan versus fraud? What's the threshold? 6?
I
7?
mean,
6 would be ideal, but I think 5 out of 10 is acceptable.
Is that because that's what you got, CT?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
All right, fine. Half is we'll make it half. If you get half of them right, we'll consider you to be a fan, a decent, an okay fan, not a super fan.
That's
All
why
right.
I'm trying to add the commentary to show you guys that I am a fan.
Yeah, so our previous guest did the same thing, but that didn't work. All right, number 7. Which of the following Spurs players held the NBA scoring title? Oh shit, I didn't write the entire question down. Oh, which of the following Spurs players held the NBA scoring titles more times? David Robinson, I keep saying Robertson because I'm a Yankees fan. Sean Elliott, Tim Duncan, or George Gervin?
Okay, so it's definitely not Duncan or Elliott. And I think Robinson only got it once. So I'm going to go George Gervin.
That is correct. Wow.
Good job.
Are you looking at Basketball Reference right now?
No, definitely
All right.
not.
I wouldn't even ask you that question. I don't even know you. That just goes to show Manny's just
All right, you shut your mouth. All right.
Here we go. You're 4 for 7.
7.
All right. Question number 8. Who was the first Spur to ever score 70 points in a game? The first. Is it A, David Robinson, B. Sean Elliott, C. Tim Duncan, or D. George Gervin?
Yes, definitely once again not Duncan or Elliott. And I know Robinson did it to win the scoring title. So I'm gonna go Robinson.
That is
Correct.
correct. Wow. Coming
Let's
back
go.
strong. He has his 5 already, 5 correct. So you're a decent fan. Let's see if you
Mhm.
can make yourself a super fan here. Number 9 is super easy. So you should get this. If you don't get this, you're an automatic fraud. I'm just throwing that out there. Which Spur legend, I consider him to be a legend, holds the nickname the Claw?
That's definitely Kawhi Leonard.
Correct.
Nice,
All right.
nice.
So you're holding on to your fan status. Final question could catapult you to super fan status. CT,
Never been
Take
done
it away.
before in this show.
never.
I
You could set the highest score here.
I think you're gonna get it. Question number 10. This Spur is one of only 2 players to have won a EuroLeague title, an NBA championship, and an Olympic gold medal. Sorry, before you answer that, if he's one of 2 players, we probably should have had.
Oh no, he's one of 2 players ever. So the other player is not a Spur.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
But if you want to throw in the other player for extra points, that's fine.
I don't know who that would be, but
I mean Argentina definitely won, so it's got to be Manu Ginobili.
correct.
Got it. Wow,
Right.
unbelievable.
You're a super
that was-
duper fan.
And
Super-
I miscalculated on the Robinson question, so I should have had 8.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that, buddy. Sorry.
Right. So let's why don't we keep this rolling and continue with the rest of the show, and I'll just be on.
Oh, we're done. We already. Oh, you know what? Why don't I ask you a question? Paul Pierce came out earlier this week and left off LeBron James off his top 5. How do you feel about it? Did you hear about that first? And second, how do you feel about that?
I did hear about it. I don't remember who his top 5 were, but
I
it's
got
hard.
you. It was Jordan. Jordan was number 1. Number 2 was
Kareem.
Was it?
Uh,
I think it was Kareem.
I know number 3 was Bill Russell. Number 4 was
Yeah.
Magic Johnson. Number 5 was Kobe.
So it was Kareem. It was Kareem.
Okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
In that case, I mean that's fair.
You think
I
so?
don't know.
Really?
I don't know who I would replace out of those guys. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. That even though it's messed up to leave LeBron off that list, the 5 players on that list are 5 greatest of all time down the board. So
For
it's like-
sure. There's no argument that they're, in my opinion, that they're great. That they are in the argument for the greatest of all time. But I think that you have to give him credit for 9 finals appearances, even though he didn't win all of them. And I think Bill Russell probably has the most championship rings, I think, in the NBA. Jordan has 6. Kobe has 6. I'm not sure how many Kareem has. I think he's top 3 in my opinion. You have to put him in the top 5. How could you not?
But see, like Kobe has 5. Kobe has 5, not 6, because
Oh.
he won 3 with Shaq and then 2 by himself with Pau Gasol. But I think that I wouldn't put him ahead of Kobe. I couldn't put him ahead of any of those guys. That's the thing.
All right.
Really tough. 5 all
Now
time.
you're on my shit list.
I mean, I think if you go between like the 90s and beyond, of course. I mean, he's top 5. But if you're going like in the 70s, 80s, those guys are just, for a lot of us, we never saw them play or never even saw their highlights, or a lot of the people for us growing up didn't talk about Bill Russell or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But so
Yeah. All right. Fine. All right. Got nothing else to say.
all right.
Congratulations.
Well, yeah, congratulations. But what was Channing Frye's argument there? I bet Sid would probably agree with Channing Frye, what he said.
I'm gonna
Wasn't
just
it
add
that Kawhi is better than Jordan or something like that?
No.
No, God,
He's just
no
saying Channing Frye is making the argument that he doesn't think Jordan would transition in today's sport because of the 2-point shot not being so relevant. But my argument is that Kawhi Leonard literally could not score and has developed into just a pure mid-range shooter, and he's unstoppable. So if Kawhi Leonard, who's not as, footwork savvy as Jordan was and is not as fast, I'm pretty sure Jordan would dominate in today's game. Is my argument versus Channing. Fuck Fry.
Yeah. No, I guess I'd have to agree with you. I mean, I think Jordan. I mean, just because of his mentality too. Like just can't.
Yeah.
Like no one is stopping him.
Yeah.
And after watching that documentary, it's kind of crazy to see how low the scores were. Like they would win a game 89-87.
Yep.
Now
That's unheard of now.
Now you have halftime being 73-72.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jordan made the transition to a different type of player midway through his career too. He was a puny kid who was a ball hog to someone who still wanted the ball at all times, but he got jacked midway through his career and was distributing the ball better. He was okay with passing the ball out to Steve Kerr to save him, basically save the season in 1998 or the championship run rather. So I disagree. I think that with Channing Frye, he's so hungry for the win and that I guess, whatever you want to call it, that he would transition his game to whatever to make himself, as great as he needs to be. If nothing else, that documentary showed how much of a sociopath the man is, and all he wants to do is win a game. That's it. That's all he cares about. I don't know if I could freaking operate with somebody like that. That's why Sid and I butt heads, because he's the greatest of all time. Have I won you over yet?
I forgive you for that comment.
All right. We're going to let you go now, Sid. You're a super fan. You have bragging rights. Congratulations. You have the record. How many correct did he get? 7, CT?
7.
7. All right. I had 6. Alex had 6. You had 5. And Sid has 7. You are officially the biggest fraud here right now. How does that feel?
Ooh,
I'm ranked number 1 looking the other way, so.
That was a Jordan comment right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Sid. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Peace.